So tonight, what I'm going to talk to you about is trust, authority, marketing, and implementation. And luckily, because my name's Tammy, it works out. So it's my TAMI formula for creating strategies to catapult your business today that will help you gain credibility, expert status, and cash flow. This is the system that I've personally been using since I entered the local offline marketing world in 2010. So I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary when I started, which was May 2010, and I went full-time in November of 2010, which is about 6 months. So what I'm going to share with you tonight are two things. I'm going to talk about this TAMI formula, and then I'm actually going to talk to you about how to do search engine optimization for the new mobile-friendly update related to Google Voice. So I'm giving you two distinct different TAMI tips tonight. And again, I'm going to talk about how to do optimization on your website that will help you get more searches on a mobile device. So that will be the second part of the training. And again, this is 100% content. If you don't know me, I actually have developed, it's kind of an Ask Tammy type of brand, because if I don't know, I'm the type of person that I'll say, well, let me find out, so ask Tammy, and that just really matches my personality. I teach social media marketing at Florida Gulf Coast University, University of South Florida, and State College of Florida. I was a Main Street Marketing Machines hero in 2010 and 2011, and I have shared my success story with hundreds of Mike Koenig's fans at several different San Diego events between 2010 and 2015, meaning now. And I like to share strategies with other marketers, and I'm also a mentor at Jim Cochran's offlinebiz.com that has actually 1,000 paid members. I am a former newspaper editor, and I had one of the very first real estate TV shows in the late or mid to late 80s that ever existed. So that's a little bit about me. So the first thing I want to talk about is trust, because we're in the local offline marketing business, and whether you're trying to sell a website, a mobile site, or help with SEO, you are a consultant to local businesses. And a local business does not mean it has to be in your own hometown. It just means that it's local to that place, to a business. A big national company could be a local business. So you always want to create trust. That's the T. Add value first. Be human. Follow the golden rule. Treat people the way you want them to treat you. And relationships have to be first. And you have to develop the know, like, trust factor. And in the virtual world, of course, we use the tools of video, social media sites, email, we give away free reports. There's just tons of ways that we create that know, like, trust factor. And then for you to be perceived as the authority, you need to be the educator, the expert, the value provider. You have to become or be the solution, because we live in a world where we're walking this tightrope between reality or the real world and the digital or virtual world, and we're trying to help these local business people. And it doesn't matter if they're mom and pops or a CEO in a major company, they need help from someone who has studied this or who knows more about it than they do. I actually have classes at Florida Gulf Coast University that are on the basic infrastructure of setting up all your social media platforms, and you would be surprised at how many of the students come in and they are the owners or CEOs of huge corporations that are headquartered in Southwest Florida. When it first happened, I was just like, whoa, you know, who are these people? And then I would talk to them and they'd answer questions, and they were the head of these big companies, sometimes with hundreds of employees, but they wanted to understand the language of social media and internet marketing, like simple words like SEO. They don't know what that means. All they know is people send them emails and they get calls on the telephone, and they're supposed to make decisions on how to use this. Do they need it for their company? That's where people like us come in, who are the educators and experts and the solution for them. That's why we're in such a unique, powerful position, because we are the authority, because we're taking the time, like tonight, to learn about this stuff. The M is marketing. In this world, it seems like it's crowded, but it really isn't, considering that there are billions of dollars out there for the taking and millions of companies in the United States alone. And then when you add the global market, there is room for each and every one of us as a local marketing consultant. And you just have to be a little bit unique, be original. You have to bring cutting-edge information to the table. And again, you have to educate and advocate. And it's all about the mix that you bring. And you don't have to offer every single service that is available. If you offer website creation or mobile marketing or video marketing or reputation marketing, you can start with one of those services and then build an entire 6, 7, 8-figure business that you can sell someday, doing exactly what we're doing here. The I is all about implementation. Because trust is developed over time, you are always constantly having to give something to have people trust you. You implement something, you give back, you provide value, and you have to develop a relationship with people over time. It is difficult to just walk in the door and expect them to hand over $20,000. When I first started, I didn't even understand the concept of know, like, trust. So I would build these giant proposals that were like $25,000 and walk in and talk to a plastic surgeon, and they're like, do you have anything a little bit smaller? And I found out that the sweet spot for getting into the door for me was about $2,000. They didn't seem to panic. Nobody seemed to get too upset over $2,000. And then the monthly ranged anywhere from $750 to maybe about $1,500 before they started to squirm about, I don't know you well enough. But that was a lesson that it took me 6 months to learn. And then it was like, whoa, you have to start with smaller packages, develop the trust over time, but then they will give you everything related to marketing. I have clients now who have been with me for 5 years. They email me, they call me for everything related to marketing. So they trust me with their marketing now, but I had to learn. I did a little bit at a time and built up that relationship with them. And for some of us, it means actually meeting them in person. For others, it may be you talk to them on the phone. You might have a go-to-meeting. I found video introductions are very powerful because they can see you, and then you talk to them directly over the video. It's just like being there. It's a really good way to get into the door. And of course, you can't give up. If something doesn't work exactly the way you think it should, let's say that you send out an email and nobody answers. Well, you have to look, well, what went wrong? Was it that you only sent out 10 emails and you needed to send out 20? Or, you know, whatever it is, you don't want to ever give up. And then once you start communicating with people, you have to stay in touch and be consistent. And of course, you have to keep learning, and you just do it and do it and do it and keep doing it over and over and over again. And for example, with this new April 21st information for Google coming out, okay, most people will say, oh my goodness, I only have 2 weeks to take advantage of this opportunity. No, the opportunity has always been there. Google has been saying to go mobile friendly at least since 2013, but more than likely much longer than that, because I've been in mobile marketing longer than that. But people just don't pay attention until you say there is a deadline. If you don't do it, you're going to get in trouble. That's why words like compliance or deadline are so powerful with people, is because it's like it instills that little teeny bit of fear, not too much fear, but just enough that they say, oh, there's something going on, I have to pay attention. In steps the person with their answer to their problem. I can help you create a mobile-friendly website. I can help you optimize for a mobile-friendly website. So that's how you're able to be that trusted authority, because you have information for them that is very important, and then you are the solution. So that was my TAMI formula. Now I'm going to share with you what I call 5 open the door strategies to create hot leads and prospects for your business. And these strategies actually could work for other types of business besides local marketers. So everything that I teach you, think about not only how you can apply it to your own business, but think about how you could apply it if you were helping, say, a plumber, an air conditioning person, an attorney. They can use these similar strategies to grow their business. So think about how cool it would be if you're talking with your attorney client or your potential plastic surgeon client, and you give them some of these ideas and strategies that I'm going to share with you. They'll say, oh, I've never thought of that. Often that's what happens. So don't just think that these are just for you to grow your local marketing consulting business, but think about how you can take these same strategies and offer them to a client and get paid for coming up with these ideas for any of your clients. So strategy number 1, let's call it VMail or video email. And this is just a very simple strategy, and I have used it. I actually used it to get a plastic surgeon to invite me to meet with him over lunch so that we could discuss his marketing needs. And this is exactly what I did, and I probably have a copy of it because I've changed a lot in the last 5 years in terms of, how I make my videos and everything, but what I want you to know is it doesn't matter how it looks as long as it's personal. Your colors might be off, it might be, up against a white wall, it might be the first video you've ever made, but it's a start, and the good news is they will get better, you'll feel more comfortable, and you will just learn over time that video is very, very powerful. So this is the strategy. You choose a person or company you want to help. Create an introduction video. You record a short video introducing yourself and your expertise and how you can help. What this is, it's a short, maybe 1 to 2 minute video where you're talking directly to them in your introduction, and you're just giving a little bit of information about yourself and your expertise, but it's really about them. You're trying to tell them, for example, the plastic surgeon I helped, he had typographical errors on his website, including his name was misspelled. So in my introductory video, I said, hi, I'm Tammy Patzer, and I help plastic surgeons with their online presence, and I noticed that you need help on your website because I found that you have many misspelled words, including your name. I can help you. I mean, something as simple as that. And he, of course, responded to that and called me. We had lunch and he became my client, and I did help him. I redid several websites for him because obviously I could spell and I could write well, and that was really important. So that's just an example. You can also offer them a free report, a free sample, an analysis. You can even ask them for an appointment via the video, which is what I did. And then you can put them into a follow-up system, and you can send them another email. Or better yet, you can call them, use a tool like Yesware or Point of Mail to track it. When they open the video, if you don't hear from them, you could wait, send them another email, or you can call them, because now you have a reason to call. You can say, hi, I sent you a video and I just wanted to check to make sure that you received it. And of course, if you've been tracking it, you know they did, and you'll know whether or not they looked at it or if they sent it to someone else. And that way, it's not a cold call anymore. It's actually a very warm call because you've already introduced them. And the interesting thing about this is when I actually did walk in to meet the doctor, I wore the same outfit that I had worn in the video. The guy hugged me because he felt like he knew me because of my little short video introduction, and he knew that I was trying to help him. And just an FYI, a lot of plastic surgeons are a little bit narcissistic because they're working in the world of beauty, and they have to believe that they're an artist, because they truly are, you know, when they're working on someone's face and everything. You can use your regular email, or you can use a paid service, and there's one called BombBomb, like the bomb, BombBomb. But you do not need a paid service to do this. I had a little Kodak ZI-8 camera that I used to make my recording, and then of course I uploaded it. I made it into an MP4. If I edited it, I either used Windows Movie Maker or I used iMovie, depending on where I was in the stage of development. More than likely, that particular video, I probably used Windows Movie Maker because I had a little Asus computer that I started my entire business on, and that was how I did all my work, on some little laptop computer when I first started. So that's strategy number one. Very inexpensive to implement, very powerful to create not only the know, like, trust factor, but the authority, expert factor, and they can see you and read your body language. They can see your eyes. They can get a lot of information from the power of a video. That's strategy number one. Strategy number two is the risk reversal strategy. Again, very powerful strategy in the local marketing consulting business, or in any business. You see it a lot in most businesses. For example, results in advance strategy would be, for example, if you were using local theme jack and you made them a sample website. That is a results in advance strategy. Maybe you're doing video marketing. You can rank a video and then say, hey, I ranked your video. You know, would you like to lease it, or would you like to buy it, or do you want a service? You can create websites, the mobile sites. You could create their mobile responsive website, or a different type of mobile. You can do review videos about them, and then say, hey, I made a review video about you, and then tell them all about that. Social media creation, website leasing, you can do call tracking systems, lead generation systems, ad creation for postcards. There's just a ton of different risk reversal strategies, meaning you take the risk and you do the work before you ever have any money coming in from them, but it makes it very easy for people to say yes because there is no risk. You know, if you say, I'll do this and you don't have to pay me for 30 days, or I did this for you, here's your sample website, you know, do you like it? Then that is a risk reversal because they didn't have to do anything and it's ready to go. It's real simple to say, oh, wow, I like that. Yes. Strategy number 3 is related to speaking, and if you know me at all, you know that I am a big proponent of speaking because it works. It works at all levels because a speaker is someone who is respected, because what is the number one fear of most people? It's public speaking. Most people are absolutely afraid to get up in front of a group, and I was there. Before I took Toastmasters training, I remember I had a job interview, and the job actually was to get up on stage and teach people about websites and about the latest thing, and this was the late 90s, which was all about the internet, and my job was to get up and try to sell my company's version. It was called sunline.net, so that would have been like access to the internet through them. And I was so terrified that when I stood in front of the mirror practicing, my hands shook, my teeth chattered, and I couldn't even get the words out. And that was just practicing in front of the mirror. And then, of course, getting in front of people, you know, the entire butterfly situation. And now, of course, that butterfly energy, you use that to energize yourself so that you can speak, because it is a very valuable tool. You can speak at chambers of commerce, clubs, organizations. I've done a lot with economic development organizations, SCORE, Small Business Administration, the Small Business Development Centers, Sea Grant. I've traveled all around the country speaking at audiology conferences and conventions, meetups, webinars, Google Hangouts, events. All of these opportunities to get in front of more than one person just makes it easier for you to grow your business. I just spoke at an event with about 30 people. It was for SCORE. It put me in front of a good group of people. I gave them my free gift evaluation. They gave my free gift evaluation back to me, and now I am following up with all those people who want either marketing plans, they want mobile-friendly websites, they want training, they want a variety of things that I told them I could provide, and they already know that I can deliver because they sat through a 3-hour workshop with me where I told them all about the mobile-friendly update and about what makes a good website, and I gave them some automation ideas using RSS feeds so they know that I can deliver, and then they're coming back next week to learn all about video marketing for local businesses and about reputation and about retargeting. Those are my next 3 topics. So they all know, oh, you know, I'm going to go back and see her, and of course I'll tweak my evaluation form so that I'll find out what services I can provide to them related to video, reputation, and retargeting. So very interesting things with speaking, and I highly, highly recommend doing any type of speaking you can do, free, paid, 2 people and up. Any time you can get in in front of more than one person, you're doing well, because it's an opportunity to develop your business and get out and be heard and found, and you're developing your authority also, that expert authority status. And then my fourth strategy is teach. The beauty of teaching, and it doesn't matter what you know about, you can teach at local colleges and other educational venues. You can do workshops, seminars, boot camps. You do not have to have a degree of any kind to teach in your expertise field. And I could go on and on about teaching, but you can do it anywhere in the world where they have educational institutions, because there's typically a requirement that they also need to provide education to the community, either adult education or community lifelong learning education to the community. And you can get into the situation where you're providing workshops, seminars, boot camps about the topic that you're actually the expert in, that you're also selling. For example, I've done numerous Facebook workshops for business, and I've also spoke to groups where I just spoke to them because it was my community service to talk to, say, the elderly people in a mobile home park about Facebook, because they need to know how to use it to communicate with their grandchildren, and also how to protect themselves from predators using Facebook. But I have also taught about content branding. I've taught video. I've done nonprofit workshops where I help them set up their nonprofit YouTube channels. I've done a lot of different types of training and workshops. In the past 5 years, I've probably done about 75 different workshops on all kinds of different topics all over the place. But teaching is an excellent way to teach, and often you'll get paid an hourly rate, plus you get the know, like, trust factor, authority factor, expert factor, and people do become your clients from teaching. Strategy 5 is all about the press. Again, it's about authority and expertise. We live in a world where if you are the authority and expert, if you've written a book, if you use anything you do, you can write a press release that will not only get picked up by different RSS feeds of different ABC, NBC, CNN, USA Today, whatever, but it can also get you some search engine optimization juice, because Google does like press releases, and Google loves videos also. But you can get into the news, you can get on TV, you can get on radio, get on podcasts, do webinars, do live events, do interviews for newspapers, magazines. I've been called on the phone by TV stations asking me about whatever is related to social media. One was about kids lighting themselves on fire, and I commented about the social media aspect on that. I've done magazine interviews about social media and business. I've done television interviews in San Diego, Albuquerque, Los Angeles, talking about Facebook. And you can use all of this press to not only build your own authority as an expert, but again, this is an excellent strategy for you to be selling to your clients. So everything that I'm sharing with you is all about you and building your expertise, your authority, your credibility, but you can turn it around and also sell these services to any type of business, large or small. So I just wanted to share that. I have many more open the door strategies, but I felt I needed to limit it, since it's a call, I don't want to give you everything and get you overwhelmed. So I'm going to hold on the questions until I'm done giving you your Google Voice strategies, just because we had that technical difficulty, and I want you to be able to do that. But of course, if you have questions, you can always email me or go to the Leads Master Pro Facebook group. And that group is, I want it to be, is my goal, is for it to be a place for you to come where we can have conversations about the sales, the marketing, and the things that are not the tech issues. And we'll keep the technical stuff over at Local Theme Jack, where people are sharing about WordPress themes and plugins and all of that good stuff, and try to have Leads Master Pro be more about the sales training and all of that. That's my vision. So that was the 5 open the door strategies to create hot leads and prospects for your business. Now I want to go ahead and segue into how to optimize for Google Voice Search. It's more than just a mobile-friendly update. I thought this was really important because we're preparing, obviously, for the April 21st deadline with the Google Massive Algorithm Update. But it's more than just a mobile-friendly update, and there's been some buzz about Google's voice search, and I started to think about it, and it really makes a lot of sense, because I don't know about you, but I get mad at my telephone when I push the button and, of course, Siri comes on and says, like, what's your question? And I need something like, I'll talk to Siri like she's a real person, expecting to get search results. Well, after a while, you learn that you can't quite talk in just like a person, but you learn how to use your smartphone and the question and answer, and to get the information that you're looking for. So it's really important for everyone who's jumping on the golden opportunity of the Google Massive Update to start thinking about how to optimize the mobile-friendly websites. So the word is conversational. Think about how you talk to your friends or your partner over coffee or over drinks or whatever. How do people talk? They talk in sentences. People ask questions. People do speak in short phrases, because the more familiar you are with a person, the more you have a tendency to just speak in short phrases instead of sentences. People do ask who, what, when, where, how, and why. So interestingly, those who, what, when, where, how, and why are your 5 W's and how, which from a journalist's point of view, you know, that was rammed into my head as a journalist, that if you can ask these questions, you're probably going to end up with a pretty good story. If you have variations of them and you keep on going with the flow of the conversation when you're interviewing someone. So again, remember, when you're optimizing mobile friendly, start to think, if somebody were standing in the middle of the mall and they were looking for something, what would they ask their phone? Because we know that more than 50% of people are using smartphones for search. We also know that there are more smartphones out there now than there are people in the world. That's how many mobile devices there are. And remember, to Google, mobile friendly means smartphone in terms of the way it looks. Okay, so what do people say to their smartphone? And it's funny because as I'm sitting here, I actually picked up my phone and I'm talking at it. But they ask directions to, where is a gas station, best dentist in name of town. I actually tested this today, and oh my goodness, did you know that if you ask your smartphone best dentist in the name of town, it'll actually go out and it'll look for the reviews, and it'll say, according to the search, and I don't remember the exact words, the best dentist in Inglewood is, you know, Joe Blow. And I was shocked because this dentist only had like 2 reviews, but the other ones didn't have any listed in their Google places. So think about how important, it doesn't matter if that dentist is using that rated dentist or demand force. If it's not being picked up in the Google My Business reviews, Google's going, they're not the best dentist. They could have 1,000 demand force reviews, but if they are not picked up in that Google My Business review, they don't exist to Google. So keep that in mind about how powerful that evolution is in the Google My Business, which used to be called Google Places. And then I asked, emergency dentist? And it came up and it said, there appears to be 5 emergency dentists in your area. I didn't even ask for a town. It picked up where I was. And then, of course, find and things to do in the name of the town. And then the question, who is the best, say plumber or doctor or, you know, whatever the niche is you're looking for. You can do this test yourself, and you can get a lot of really interesting information that you could in turn say to your potential client. You could say, you know, I did a test with the Google Voice, and this is what happened when I asked who is the best plumber in town, who is the best roofer. And you know, let's say that they were not the one chosen, but you know that, oh, I see why they were not the best. You need 5 more reviews, and Google will see you as the best in this area. So there is a lot of really cool information related to Google Voice Search that you need to know, and this is something that people are just starting to talk about. So how to optimize your website for mobile-friendly search. So here are some of the keys to optimizing for mobile-friendly search. You want to use longer keyword phrases. You want your sentences in the first person using words like me, because think about it, people, when they talk to their phone, they're thinking in terms of how will this help me? And they'll actually ask real questions. So again, longer keyword phrases. I know a lot of people have been asking questions about SEO and how to SEO websites. The main thing, the biggest clue in all of this is to write high quality content. Think about how real people are using websites and mobile-friendly sites, and you're probably going to win 90% of the time and not get yourself in trouble. Example, if there's a question in an FAQ, how can George Smith AC Repair help me change my air conditioning filter? That might be a keyword loaded question in your FAQs. And remember, people are talking to their phone. I'm sitting here right now holding my phone in my hand, even though, you know, I'm not really talking to it, but it's like I'm looking at it and talking to it. And I tested find an ice cream store near me. So of course it says I find 4 different ice cream stores near you, and they were within a mile radius of my house. Where is the nearest gas station? Help me find a grocery store. Who is the best dentist in Inglewood? Of course, I was using places that I was familiar with. And with the best dentist one, again, I already talked about that. But it was like, oh my goodness, because I have a dental client, and I just found out something I needed to know, that I can take to them and say, you know, I need to do X on your Google Places to make it work better for you. So I become a solution provider, and again, it just shows I really care about that client, and I care that they are getting a better result, and that is really important. On FAQs, this is something that can be very helpful to you for linking and optimization, and this is just one idea concept. On your frequently asked questions for optimization, do this. You would make one page per FAQ, and then you have a page that would be your FAQ directory page. So you would then be linking internally your one page with your mobile-friendly, optimized, frequently asked question. You link that page into your one page, which is your FAQ directory page, and then it will help you to have great voice search optimization, which of course is good for overall search. So this is something that you want to think about when you're working on your mobile-friendly websites, because everybody's always saying, well, how am I going to make money after the fact? What am I going to offer? Well, it's not about just throwing a number up against the wall and saying, I want $97 to do what? And then, of course, people go, oh, well, I'll host your website, I'll do this. But that stuff is like, the who cares type of stuff. That's like the, yeah, so what? Shouldn't you do that for, for a monthly? This, when you start doing optimization such as FAQ optimization, this is something that they could actually understand what you're doing, because you'd be saying to them, okay, we're meeting the Google requirements for voice search, and then of course you can tell them that, we know that more than 50% of people doing searches use their mobile devices or smartphone, so we want to make sure that your website is optimized properly for Google voice search optimization. And did you know that they also have handwriting search? I didn't even know that. It's phenomenal, all the things, but that's a whole nother story. But again, FAQ optimization is one way that you can improve that voice search optimization that can make your mobile-friendly websites climb to the top of the search engines faster, because you're providing not only a good on-page search adventure for people, you're also providing a high-quality voice search for people. So this little tip, I hope, will help you to make mobile-friendly websites so that they'll be winners in 2015 and beyond. And you have the tools, and now you can go make money. And that's one of the things that I wanted to always give to you during the trainings and tips that I provide. I want to always try to give you something that you could take out and implement the next day, so that you're able to make money with this stuff, so that you're not just spinning your wheels trying to do all of the tech stuff. So now you have something, Google voice search, that you can put that into your toolkit. Now you can say, oh, I can help you with the Google voice search when I make your mobile-friendly website, and that will help you to really create a high-quality online presence. So I hope that you got a lot of value out of this. So I know